phenomenal talent.
False start, back
False
above
start.
5.
Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
Bryson Tremaine again.
And if you want to compare him to somebody, Mike, I think Lamar Jackson. I do.
That's a big comparison.
It is. 2-time MVP, I got it. But he is, in his heart, a pocket passer, just like Lamar was.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
When Lamar came out of Louisville, I said, this guy's different. Everybody would say, oh, he's a scrambler, he's running around, he's making, and no. He was a pocket passer that created within the pocket passing scheme. And that's exactly what James Daniels did as well.
Second 25 throw. Gain about 6 yards here. Up to the 21-yard line. On the throw by Driscoll. Chris Rodriguez comes up with the grab.
And Mike, I think the icing on the cake for me, like I watched all the tape. I saw him in college. I saw his preseason games. He audible at the line of scrimmage, threw a first down. Dan Quinn went crazy. He wasn't supposed to do it, but in reality, he loved it. You know that he did. But when we met him, that was the icing on the cake. He is respected and liked all throughout that game.
Rodriguez again. Let's make most of the penalty yardage, but they'll punt it away here. 5 minutes into the second quarter. He was named the starter on Monday, but you got the sense everyone we talked about, job's not too, this is a big job being the starting quarterback at Washington, and a lot of people have had it. 8 different guys to start the last 8 years, but he's got it.
And Bobby Wagner is the guy, right? Here's Bobby Wagner, who's going to the Hall of Fame by any standard that you want to measure. And apparently those two guys, in a very fun-loving way, just like they're doing right now, are at each other the entire practice, having fun, talking trash, and it's created this great competitive atmosphere.
55-yard kick by Way. Demario Douglas returns at 6 yards. New England will take over at the 20. Melissa, you have more on the Washington starting quarterback.
Yes, you were watching his highlights. I spoke to his college coach at LSU, Brian Kelly. He said in his 34 years going to the NFL is not a big transition for him at all. And I think we have seen that this week.
No doubt, Melissa. And being around Brian Kelly calling Notre Dame games for 5+ years, he puts a lot on that quarterback and some pressure on him to perform. And that has certainly helped Daniels along the way. Nice stop made by John Ridgway, second consecutive play he's made. Kevin Harris was the running back. Chris, you get a quarterback out of college who had to deal with miking the linebacker and deal with protections. That's not every college quarterback in these systems, and Brian Kelly's system demanded that of Daniels.
It really does, and Brian Kelly will keep the pressure on his quarterback as well. So you add that now to having a veteran leader in there at the center position as well, and Tyler Biotic.
Down May is short for Tyquan Thornton and incomplete. As he was getting pressured, we saw the flag come in as well. I believe his arm may have gotten hit at the end of that.
Illegal formation. Offense number 77 was lined up in the backfield. This penalty's declined. It's third down.
There we go. We are with Chuksa Okorafor. He's trying to play over on that left tackle position. He has been a right tackle playing the left side. And they're all going through a little transition in this game tonight.
Well, it's alignment stuff. You can see right, this is a great shot for it. The helmet's got to break the belt line to the center. That's a pass incomplete on the wrong page with May and Thornton. And it's a couple of times in this game, back-to-back drives with New England, that penalty has been called, and it leads to a quick 3 and out.
How do you say it? Officials like to make points during the preseason, right? And there's all these points of emphasis, and we've always heard it in the past and all that. But there are certain things, and I actually agree with this one. I think that at the snap of the ball, you have to be as fair to the defense as you are to the offense, and I think that's a great rule.
Where's Behringer? Kicks it away. He's 7 yards and fair caught at the 33 by Kaz Allen of 11 nights. Thursday night opener. Kansas City at Baltimore. Driscoll's pass is intercepted. Threw it in the middle. Joe Giles Harris has it for New England. And now he's finally brought down by offensive lineman takes him down. A penalty marker, I believe, on the field. At the 32-yard line. Third-year man out of Duke, Joe Giles Harris, comes up with the interception of Jeff Driscoll.
You try and throw it around one linebacker in here, and the other one gets it.
After the interception, personal foul, illegal blindside block by the intercepting team, number 97. This 15-yard penalty will be enforced. It's New England's ball.
Tristan Hill, you saw it right there as he knocked down Julian Good-Jones. Again, another one of those player safety rules changes and adjustments over the last few years. But Driscoll is picked, and New England will take over at the 41-yard line of Washington.
That's fun, right? You're in one of those games, you're trying to make the team, and you put the oxygen mask on. It's so much fun. These guys on the bottom half of the roster, I know it's almost cliche at this point, but I mean, it's the greatest honor of their lives to play in the National Football League. And they don't want the dream to end. And they know on Tuesday or Monday, the dream is going to end for a lot of guys.
Penalty Markov back to the 44. May shot downfield, incomplete. For KJ Osborne, almost intercepted by Jeremy Reeves of Washington. A couple of points to that, Chris. One, that cut down day will happen, and there are other teams who are going to pick up guys. Both of these teams, because they were so bad last year, are very high on the waiver wire, so they're going to keep transactions going to get players. And the other point is, and you said this, as the season gets longer, 17 games, more injuries, practice squads are really important on these teams. You dip into that almost every week. So these are important roster spots for these players trying to secure them. More flag after the carry by Harris.
Holding, offense number 64. 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
Rookie Leighton Robinson playing guard for this New England offensive line that really is very much a work in progress right now because of injuries and trying to find the right 5 guys to start.
Yeah, and based on what I've seen so far out of this particular group, Mike, I think if Adarian Lowe comes back, he goes back to left tackle. Chukwueze Okorafor goes back to right tackle. Michael Winu goes back into his right guard position, and of course David Andrews takes over at center. That looks better than this so far.
The 34, May throws through the hands and incomplete. Trying to connect with Jalen Rager. Rager out there. Polk, KJ Osborne, most of that quote starting group for now on the offensive line. Just save for the tight ends and the running back. This is a good group that's out there with May as they assess.
Yeah, they really are. And Antonio Gibson in the backfield as well has become that sort of Austin Eckler receiving threat when he gets it.
3rd and 20, flag down to the hands of Michael Hasty. Weaving through tacklers to the 42 as Jalen Harris brings him down.
How many flags do they have at the UN?
UN General Assembly is 180 some odd nations, I remember.
On the play. Illegal formation, number 71. This penalty is declined. Holding, number 62. This penalty is also declined. The result of the play brings up 4th down.
I just had an opening ceremony flashback from
By the way, Bud, you're unbelievable.
So much fun to work with, you know, when you're with a good team. Hard not to succeed, and our NBC team did an amazing job at the Olympics.
Rob Hyland wasn't bad.
Our producer, Rob Hyland, yeah. Now he's stuck with us for the next 20 weeks. This is reward here on Sunday Night Football. But at least he gets to sit next to Drew S.
I was raised, man, from my parents. They told me go out there and earn everything, and that's just another step that I had to go earn.
I talked to Brian Kelly this week, your head coach at LSU. He said you are the best player he has ever coached. You didn't know that, right? That he said, okay. Who do you think made him say that? What about you?
Maybe because I joked with him the most. You know, I kind of kept him, you know, a little loose, not so uptight and everything. But no, honestly, just how I came to work every day and prepared on and off the field, and try to take my approach as a professional.
Yeah, he said you were absolutely a professional in college, so the transition would work well for the NFL. He laughed when I told him that your new head coach, Dan Quinn, compared you to Maverick in Top Gun, the movie, because you can go off script, but you can still get the job done. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I just see the game, and sometimes it's like, man, I'm just trying to go make a play, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but both those coaches have full trust in me, and I appreciate them.
So you told us this week, Tom Brady and now Lamar Jackson. So what is your style of offense?
Great quarterback play. People go out there and help their team, lead the team to wins, and you know, can be explosive players in each and different aspect of their game, whether that's running or throwing. But, you know, just trying to find some winners.
All right, let's talk about Marcus Mariota, because he's going to be your backup. You guys have so much in common, right? Both Heisman Trophy winners, both the #2 overall pick. You said you wouldn't be here without him. What has he meant to you?
Meant a lot. Just the knowledge that he gave me on and off the field, you know, being as a mentor to me, and, you know, he's seen a lot of football. He's been in this league for many years, and, you know, just without him, I wouldn't be in this position to go out there and, you know, be able to succeed or have the opportunity to go out there and succeed.
And finally, just one final thought on the Commanders, because you told us the biggest surprise with this organization was the excitement of the fan base. Yeah. What have you experienced?
Oh, it's crazy out here. You know, there's a lot of people out here showing love for the preseason game. You know, you got people screaming. Appreciate y'all. But I can't wait. I can't wait till September 15th to come out here and be able to play in front of these fans.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you on the field playing in 2 weeks.
Appreciate that.
All right, guys.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Jaden Daniels, you can see it's that likable personality and why he is connected with his teammates right away. Jeff Driscoll, 3rd and 9. Throw right to the sticks and a first down. Around midfield as he connects with Byron Pringle. Veteran's been around the league for a half dozen years.
Yeah, there are just some guys that walk in the locker room and you go, they got it, right? Yeah. You know, and you just get the feeling that across the board, the people that we talk with, from the owner to the head coach to the offensive coordinator to the players themselves, they are thrilled that Jaden Daniels is their quarterback, and that doesn't always happen.
They're on here and well read, cleaned up by Christian Ellis of the Patriots against Michael Wiley, the rookie out of Arizona, who's become the running back on this drive for Washington.
Yeah, and we are seeing Gerard Mayo not afraid to play his guys, right? And there's DeMarcus Covington over on the sideline. Got his chance when Mayo became the head coach. He was the first coordinator hired. Former wide receiver was coaching the D-line. I had to ask him about that.
Inside throw to Mitchell Tinsley. Across midfield to New England territory at the 45. Driscoll's got a nice drive going here. 4 minutes to go. That defensive line is one of the things they're going to have to address, because the two guys there who've led them in sacks over these last few seasons, not there. Matthew Judon traded to Atlanta for a 3rd-round pick. Christian Barmore, dealing with blood clots, has not been around the Patriots practices, and no timetable on if he will return this season. So a significant issue with those two players, not a part of what New England's doing right now. Driscoll takes off, trying to get the first down. He's very close to the line by Sam Roberts. The spot is short. It'll be 4th and inches.
I think you're going to see him go for it here, though. Stir up a little juice in this building. So hard, you know, and Dan Quinn's doing what he thinks is right. His offense has looked so good when he had his starters in there. But all these coaches, they just don't want to play these guys in this last preseason game.
Extra tight ends in, give to Wiley, and he has the first down at the 40-yard line. 5 years, one of the many players who we've seen come into preseason camps who have 5 years in the NFL or in college before the NFL, used to the COVID year. Joe Giles Harris, who had the interception earlier. That's to be looked at by the New England athletic training staff.
You know, Mike, one of the things that we really haven't had a chance to talk about yet is Dan Quinn and his approach to being a head football coach. Right? He went through one of the most devastating losses in the history of the NFL, no question, in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots.
Patriots fans know it, 28-3.
Yeah, and yet there is such an optimism about this guy, and I loved what he said. He said when the new guys came in, the free agents, the draft picks, we spent like 2 weeks getting to know them as people before trying to figure out who they were as football players. And you sort of sit back and you go, that's interesting. Like, nobody ever did that to me, you know? But it's really an idea. He's almost like today's corporate kind of leader.
But that's him, right?
Yes.
We've been around him a lot in the Atlanta days, Dallas the last few years. That's who he is. He is a real, I hate to say people person, but that's what he is.
That's exactly what he is.
Swing it out to Marcus Rosamond-Jack Saint, the wide receiver out of Georgia. Productive, especially last year for the Dogs. He takes it to the 35-yard line.
There's Cliff Kingsbury over there, and I'll tell you, you think he is enjoying getting a chance to work with Jaden Daniels? He said, when I started watching him play, I've never seen anybody that young go through his progressions and get the ball out of his hands as quickly as he does.
And Caleb Williams last year as he was working at USC with Lincoln Riley. Nice run by Wiley gets us to the 2-minute warning. A penalty flag, though.
Penalty, replay second down. This is the 2-minute warning.
So take away that Wiley gain, bring him back. Mayos.
He's probably calling Bill right now. And what do you think, Coach? What do you think of this guy? What do you want me to say?
Second half, we'll talk a little bit about the great accomplishments of Bill Belichick during the Foxborough years. Swung out to Wiley. Out of bounds. Should we share the stupid thought I had for you in break with everybody now that they're all watching?
Sure.
Like if I was the Patriots, I'd let Washington score here just so you can see Drake May in the 2-minute drill. You like it?
You think that man right there is going to let anybody score?
I'm just selling it to you. We're just having fun here.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You were at those Olympics a long time, weren't you?
Exactly. Official review checking if he was inbounds or out.
And has chosen to accept the 10-second runoff. Clock operator, please reset the game to 1:56. Run it down to 1:46. The game clock will start at my signal. Thank you.
And as I was going to say, it's a 10-second runoff because we're changing to a running clock. And either team could have used a timeout to avoid it. They chose not to.
Terry, thank you. Terry, we're going to see something different here in the second half. We'll talk about it. We'll have one less official on the field because the officials work on things in preseason as well.
They do. They do. They'll have their backup referee work the second half and as a 6-man crew. So we'll see a little different mechanics than we normally see.
The officials get live reps of that, as happens in a couple of games during a year. The official might get injured, and you have to go with 6, and it changes responsibilities for them.
Ooh, a little chance for a shot unless they back out. They're showing man coverage, but as we well know, usually whatever New England shows is not what they run, but they are trying to talk Jeff Driscoll into believing that he can throw one down the field here because everybody across the board looks like cover 0 and they're coming after him.
Yeah, Byron Pringle down at the bottom of your screen was clapping towards Driscoll. Like, do you see what I got out here? Driscoll's got it. Gonna go hot to the other side. The big hit is made by Sean White. Sean White would have nothing of Bryson Tremaine. The big side. Wade, I should say. Beg your pardon.
So once again, got in 2 games last year.
Wade, who came over from Baltimore, former Ohio State Buckeye. KJ Osborne going back to catch his Tressway punt, so they'll get a chance for Drake May to run a 2-minute drill by stopping Washington. 1:32 to go. Drops the nose down on that drop. Get it to check up. And it does not. Checks out. Just 21 yards in net. And May will take over the 20, Chris.
All right. A little 2-minute offense here.
It's good to see the quarterbacks go through the full menu here. And this is one of the reasons why coming in, Gerard Mayo wanted to see May come through at halftime, and a flag is thrown. Too many men on the field, I believe.
Defense had 12 men on the field. This is a 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Melissa.
Mike, we told you earlier about Patriots quarterback Jacoby Brissett coming to the sideline, grimacing, grabbing his right shoulder after their first drive. We knew coming in he'd only play a series or two. He played one. And now we're just hearing from the team. He is a
starting quarterback in a couple of weeks. May shot play downfield, incomplete. Try to hit Javon Baker. Chris, you talked about Baker earlier, part of the draft class for New England.
Yeah, and Jalen Polk, number 1, who was the 2nd-round pick, is definitely the guy that has stood out so far. Javon Baker, about the same speed, and somebody that can definitely be a factor in this year. But they need somebody to really jump up and become that star player. And
they don't need that. That's City So. One of the offensive linemen who's been a somewhat steady presence at guard. He was a right guard starter for 13 games last year. Starting at his college position, left guard here tonight, and being looked at by the athletic training staff. Been around in the league for some time. Will come in his place with 1:20 left and 1 timeout for New England. And number 3 overall pick, Drake May. Michael Hasty getting that first down on the ground out to the 33-yard line. And now the Patriots get that first down in the 2-minute drill. We'll jump on the ball and see if they put it up top against the Commanders. Again, Washington not playing their starters here tonight. Hastings sideline after a couple of yards. Anthony Pittman the tackle.
a lot of take a few plays, just get a few completions, get this going, and then zip one like that.
And to the sideline and caught by the rookie. Baker goes out of bounds. First down into Washington territory at the 48-yard line.
I tell you, you got a chance to see his arm on this one. He was at his feet facing forward and just whipped around and threw a bullet in there. And don't ever question the arm strength of come out of this year's draft for sure.
Patriots took Milton out of Tennessee in the 6th round. For the Washington 48, May throws, and that is left wide open for the other draft pick, Jalen Polk. So the Patriots draft class involved there. We have a penalty marker down again.
Holding, offense number 74. It's a 10-yard penalty. Let's replay first down.
So Michael Jordan who's come in, so that's not all accepted, but 7 flags thrown on the New England offensive line in this first half.
All right, Terry.
Arguable whether he did that on that play, but that's what they're looking for. If he grabs and jerks down, it's a foul.
20, and May shows the arm strength again. And KJ Osborne has it right back to the 48-yard line. The penalty yardage picked up there.
I tell you what, Mike, for a guy that we came in here saying his footwork was bad, and watching Drake May out here tonight, his footwork looks awesome.
Well, it's new to him, right? The West Coast offense and the timing, and you've gone through it for years. That the footwork you learn, and it tells you where to go with the ball. He's learning that, and it looks like he's picking it up.
Completely different than what we saw in college from him.
The 48, flag down. Pocket escape by May. Flings it on the run because he's got a man downfield. And KJ Osborne's in the end zone. We do have the flag down. Everybody here says it should be coming back. So
illegal formation. Once again, left tackle number 77 was lined up in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. There is no score. We'll replay second down.
Once again, this is the update. It's the same story. Terry, can I bring you in? Because you give
line. I think this is terrific. They're making these calls now.
He scans, comes back over the middle in traffic. Trying to get it to Polk. Big Benogany among those in coverage for Washington. Down to 19 seconds left.
And That time they're going, dude, I know you're a superstar and everything.
England has one timeout. They do have a couple of field goal kickers with big legs. See if they can get it somewhere close to field goal range. Osborne the catch. At the 47. Time running down, 10 seconds remaining. Let's see what the Patriots are going to do as they run it all the way down and take the timeout with 1 second, either to try the shot downfield or the long field goal with Joey Sly.
New England called their final timeout of the half, a 30-second timeout.
So from here, it's a 64-yard field goal. There is a field goal battle for the opportunity in his old place. So give me your thoughts on what you saw from Drake May.
I think if you're Robert Kraft and watching this game, you don't care that that penalty was called. You just saw your quarterback scramble out, move to the left, throw across his body, and have a touchdown pass. It's going to be a really tough decision. I mean, if you're just going to go by what we've seen on the field so far and eliminate all those other discussions, Drake May.
Sly will try. He's made a 61-yarder in his career against Philadelphia. It's a 64-yard attempt at the end of the half. Commanders kicker for 3 years in a low-line drive. That is no good. And Tyler Owens couldn't catch it to return it. So that brings us to the half.
chấm